Hello Underdogger, it's your boy Underdog Recapped. Before we start, warning, spoilers ahead. Today, we are going to recap an American superhero movie released in 2020, entitled Bloodshot. A special agent dies, but wakes up with an enhanced body of nanotechnologies. He wakes up with a sole objective, which is to get revenge on his wife's killer. However, he unknowingly carries out his mission over and over on different targets. Why isn't he aware of his own mind? Let's find out together, in a doggy-styled recap. A soldier named Ray Garrison and his team have successfully rescued hostages in Mambosa. After the mission is completed, Ray and his companions return directly to Italy. In Italy, Ray's wife, Gina, is waiting for him. They spend time together on the Italian beachside as a couple who were long and far apart. They always have a fun topic to lead the conversation. They laugh and share happiness together. Everything looks so romantic and sweet, with Ray stating that whatever mission he faces, he will definitely come home. In the morning, Ray wakes up without Gina beside him. She left a note about her going outside to find them breakfast and will be back soon. Everything seems okay, so Ray casually goes to the bathroom, brushing his teeth. While he brushes his teeth, he hears the sound of footsteps approaching him, but it isn't Gina's. Suddenly, two people armed with tranquilizer guns come to ambush Ray. Ray wins the fight, but he bumps into someone who suddenly appears in front of his door. Unfortunately, the man manages to anesthetize him and he collapses. When he wakes up, his body is very tightly bound to a chair on the ground. The man who stabs the anesthetic approaches Ray. He introduces himself as Martin Axe. Martin is very curious about the person behind the hostages in Mambosa. Sadly, Ray himself does not know who tipped him to do that mission. Martin suddenly brings Gina out to force Ray to tell the man behind the mission. The situation is getting tense when Ray honestly does not know who tipped him off, but Martin keeps on insisting on him. Then, Gina is killed by Martin. Dramatically, Ray is furious after seeing Gina die in front of him. He yells at Martin to kill him instead, because if they meet again, Ray will surely kill him. Shockingly, Martin shoots Ray without any doubt. Ray awakens in an unfamiliar room. He's not dead yet. Outside the room, a girl named KT is monitoring him. A short time after waking up, Ray panics and slams his head to the ground. KT directly comes and calms him down, but then, he falls unconscious again. Upon waking up for the second time, KT and a professor come to the room. The professor introduces himself and the place. His name is Dr. Emil Harding, who works for Rising Spirit Technologies, RST. Dr. Emil asks about Ray's basic information such as name, rank and serial number, but there is nothing Ray can answer. Then he clarifies that Ray is taken to RST because his body has been donated by the US military. Of course, Ray does not easily believe the professor's words. He can't even believe that he has been brought back from the dead. KT explains further that Ray's body has been donated because there is no family who claimed him. It is hard for Ray to digest all the news he gets. For that reason, Dr. Emil slowly points out that Ray is a lucky man who manages to come back to life with the help of Project Bloodshot. Dr. Emil emphasizes that Ray should be grateful to get the second chance. After some time, Ray finally accepts the truth of his new life. After that, Dr. Emil and KT invite Ray to take the building tour. Along the way, they tell him that RST focuses on rebuilding the US military assets, the soldiers just like Ray. But Ray is a step forward than the other soldier in RST, because the bloodshot has successfully penetrated into his body. Dr. Emil proves that by scratching Ray's hand quite deep, the blood seems to be flowing back into his hand and the wound is healing. Dr. Emil asks Ray to put his hand under the microscope to see what is actually happening. A bunch of little biomechanical creatures called nanites react very quickly to rebuilding the damaged tissues. Those creatures are actually Ray's blood. Yes, Dr. Emil successfully did a full body transfusion which applies micro-robots into Ray's body and substitutes the blood. On the other hand, Ray has totally forgotten what has happened during his past life. Dr. Emil and KT convince Ray that he only needs to focus on the future without thinking about the past, just like them and the other soldiers. In the past, Dr. Emil was a tennis champion and lost his arm because of cancer. He successfully changed his arm with a new robotic arm. Meanwhile, KT was a US Navy swimmer who died during a chemical attack in Syria. Now she breathes through a clavicle-mounted respirator, so she is totally immune to the inhalants. The other soldiers are Tibbs, who gets a better sight with a gear-mounted camera which directly arrays into his optic nerves, and Jimmy, who gets robotic leg augmentation. After a quick introduction with the others, Ray still thinks that everything does not add up and decides to take some more rest. When Ray sleeps, he has a nightmare about a glimpse of a murderer. He wakes up and decides to exercise a little in the gym. There, he finds that he has super strong power that would break the gym. He also sees KT exercises a kata underwater beautifully. Ray and KT have a small talk about Ray's nightmare and how he doesn't have any past memories. But, KT tells Ray that he will wish to forget the memories if he remembers it enough. KT then gives a small token to Ray so Ray would not feel alone. After the small talk, KT invites Ray to drink. When they just have a sip, a voice of a woman calling out to Ray is played all over the bar. The voices provokes Ray's memories about his wife and the murderer of his wife, Martin X. He even remembers that Martin has killed him. After remembering his past, Ray rushes to Martin's place. He can easily find Martin's place because the nanits in his body are scanning the global search platforms. Other than that, a billion microphone is implanted in his brain so he can communicate with Dr. Emil from RSD. Dr. Emil asks him to come back. Surely Ray ignores him, then, he easily finds an aeroplane and drives it to Budapest to kill Martin. Ray finally finds Martin, who is heavily guarded by his personal guards. When they enter a tunnel, the lights in the tunnel suddenly go out one by one. Until finally, a truck hits them from the opposite direction and blocks the road. After that, Ray comes and has a gripping fight in the tunnel. Of course, with his new capabilities, Ray can finish off all the bodyguards and not forget to shoot Martin. Done with his business, Ray drives back to the plane. There, KT, Tibbs and Jimmy pick him up and bring him back to RSD. When they arrive at RSD, Ray is immediately plugged in to erase all his memories from the past. Here, Jimmy dislikes the idea that Ray is only a tool whose memories are controlled by people at RSD. Even though he kills Martin and takes revenge, it's actually under the control of the people at RSD. Jimmy also provokes Ray by saying that Gina isn't actually dead. While Ray's memory is being erased, KT goes to the controller's room and meets Dr. Emil. There, Dr. Emil warns KT to stick to the plan, as the training, the alcohol, and the nightmare, all events regarding Gina's murder are only done for the sake of checking Ray's abilities. KT feels the whole plan is too much and Ray has the right to choose his own life path. But no matter how hard KT tries to ask Dr. Emil to stop, she still can't fight him because Dr. Emil is the one who controls KT's clavicle-mounted respirator. Before KT, there were several soldiers who chose to leave RST like Barris. Barris is Dr. Emil's real target and Martin is just Barris' errand boy. Dr. Emil replaces Martin's face and Ray's memory into Barris's face to make Barris as Ray's next target. All the sequences of events experienced by Ray are repeated. All events are exactly designed the same with the events that Ray had gone through to kill Martin. When all of it happened again, Jimmy mocks Ray as he is so dumb to love Gina so hard and can be taken advantage of Dr. Emil. Dr. Emil has a technician named Eric. Eric is the most influential person to carry out the missions. Eric manages to tap into all the CCTV in Barris' office and broadcast it in the RST controller room. Barris looks ready and has plans for Ray's arrival. When Ray arrives in front of Barris' building, he is immediately arrested and beaten until several of his organs are damaged. Eric is surprised to see a great technician named Wilfred Wiggins on Barris' side. Turns out, Eric uses an open source code program designed by Wiggins. Dr. Emil is clearly angry at Eric's carelessness in using open source code. On the screen, Wiggins brings a case containing sophisticated robotic things as Barris has requested. But surprisingly, Wiggins has his own plans to save Ray. The item that Barris requested turns out to be an electromagnetic pulse that explodes and momentarily disables the nanits inside Ray, making Ray fall unconscious. This explosion cut off the connection between the nanits and Dr. Emil. As Ray and Wiggins are chatting, he suddenly remembers that the murderer of his wife in his nightmare is the same person with a different face. Wiggins is shocked because all along there is rumor of a hitman exterminating every RSD defector. Now, Wiggins understands that Ray is used through a dream manipulation to exterminate the defectors. This proves that whatever comes to Ray's mind is untrue. Ray also realizes that he never once tries to find his wife. Therefore, he decides to search for Gina. Before he goes, he gives some of his blood to Wiggins to be examined. The controller room at RSD detects Ray's presence as he leaves Wiggins' headquarters. Tibbs and Jimmy are assigned to chase Ray. When Ray arrives at Gina's house, he finds out that Gina is actually alive and married to someone else, and she even has kids. Turns out, they had separated 5 years ago and his memories of her are all lies. On the way home, Ray is intercepted by Tibbs and Jimmy. They fire special shots at Ray. Ray manages to escape until Tibbs manages to stab a jackknife into his back, which eventually gives back the RSD's connection to fully control Ray. They immediately shut Ray down. Seeing Dr. Emil's decision, KT furiously goes out to help Ray, but Dr. Emil swiftly turns off her respirator, which makes KT cannot breathe for the moment. In the evening, KT finds Wiggins with Eric's help. She takes Wiggins with her. Because she has her own plan, she lies to Dr. Emil by saying that Wiggins has managed to escape. Hearing the news, Dr. Emil asks Eric to program Ray's memory to kill Wiggins. KT does not stand still. She enters a room used to penetrate Ray's nervous system to give Wiggins access. This access leads to the coding battle between Eric and Wiggins, and of course Wiggins wins. All the fake memories in Ray's brain are successfully erased. In the other room, Dr. Emil finds KT and immediately turns off her respirator. Luckily, it doesn't work because Wiggins has cut off Dr. Emil's access. Dr. Emil frantically calls Tibbs and Jimmy to fight against Ray. Then KT bombs the RSD equipment place. In another room, Jimmy manages to find Ray. They fight fiercely until both of them are thrown out of the building. At this time, Tibbs comes to help Jimmy. After some fierceful battle, Ray wins and those two soldiers die. The story ends with Dr. Emil becoming Ray's next target. He drops a bomb right between him and Dr. Emil. The massive explosion is unavoidable. Luckily, Wiggins is able to save Ray, and he even upgrades the nanites in him to be self-sufficient. As humans, we don't need to define who we will become, because we can choose what we want to be. Well, if you were Ray, would you be able to question your identity and risk your life to find the truth? Let us know in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in our next recap.